Hi, I'm Emelia Timpo, and I'll be reading from my debut book, Perseverance, a Memoir, One Woman's Journey from Ghana to the United Nations and Beyond. I live in East Windsor, and I work for over 17 years for the United Nations in countries around the world, including Ghana, Italy, India, Switzerland, Namibia, Ethiopia, and elsewhere. Thank you so much to the Princeton Public Library for including me as a featured author. I've been going to the Princeton Library for over 35 years, so it's a pleasure to be a part of this incredible library collection. I'm here to share a short section from my book, which is a memoir about my life growing up in Ghana, West Africa, moving to the US, then working and traveling around the world. The title, Perseverance, was an easy topic for me, as it reflected many aspects of my life, which is now documented for your reading pleasure. Who would have thought that I was unable to get to medical school, which was my lifelong dream, because I received a C grade in physics on my high school final exam? And yet, with the ravages of HIV and AIDS decimating the small population of Namibia, where I had been posted as the FAO representative for the United Nations, I ended up leading and championing the mainstreaming of AIDS work into other sectors, surrounded by numerous medical professionals. Who would have thought that with a PhD in plant physiology from Rutgers, New Jersey's premier institution, and unable to get work in my field solely because I was Black, a woman, and an African, 3 clear strikes against me, I would end up working as a secretary in the giant telecommunications company AT&T, and managed to move from there to become the Deputy Assistant Chancellor for Higher Education for the entire state of New Jersey. With these 2 examples, let me read a short piece from chapter 15 of my book on my experience on arrival in New York City in 1977. On August 14, 1977, I set off on a new journey in pursuit of education and experiences that would bring me back to Ghana as the first female plant physiologist. On the flight from Accra to JFK Airport were Michael Simpson and other colleagues from Tech, who had also received scholarships for further studies in other parts of the US. We all parted ways at the JFK Airport for our different destinations. Albert was at the airport to meet me on arrival. In truth, I was not sure he would be there, so I was pleasantly surprised. From the JFK Airport to his apartment in Parkchester section of the Bronx, I could only focus on the road. We took the Whitestone Bridge. It must have been 4 lanes in each direction, with so many cars. The highway had many overpasses and exits and turns than I could count. I was awed and wondered how people could navigate their way in this maze of roads. I did not recall seeing such roads when I was in Jerseyville with the Whelans. I was in the city for only 2 nights. Then Albert drove me to the Port Authority with his maze of buses and people all moving as if orchestrated to music. Buses were scheduled to head all over the country. I was amazed at the organization of the place, with shops everywhere you looked. My mind was thrown back to the KJT lorry station in Kumasi, where I would start my Cape Coast trips for years. It's a very different world I was entering. My Greyhound bus was on the 4th floor of the Port Authority. Through escalators and lifts, we arrived at the gate and waited for the bus to depart. With tears in my eyes, I waved at Albert standing at the gate. He promised to visit in Ithaca when he had a chance. On that sunny August morning, we headed north on the West Side Highway along the Hudson River toward the Tappan Bridge, which would connect us with Route 17 to Binghamton, where I would change for another bus en route to Ithaca. As I watched the river sparkle in the sunlight, I wondered how the low-lying Tappan Bridge could be so long. When I arrived in Ithaca on that beautiful sunny August day, the leaves were just beginning to hint at the autumn to come. The narrow roads from Binghamton were encased with sky-high trees, with leaves of all hues, nature's handiwork, and enveloping views of the beautiful Cayuga Hills. I fell immediately in love.